Welcome back. It's the Flow Friday Sports Show on Flow FM, and we turn our attention now to the Riverland Footy League with Ben Venning and Beaver. Renmark are the premiers, 7-10-52 over Barmera Monash, 4-11-35. What a way to end the season for Renmark.
Yeah, no, look, obviously the two best teams in the competition all year finally got to that last day. What a grand final it was. Renmark obviously probably sat second most of the year to Barmera, and Barmera sort of was on a roll there, through the year where they won sort of 10 in a row, and Renmark started to, get their team back together and, put it all together when it mattered, and that's when it came to finals. So, obviously they lost that second semi and didn't kick straight. And, if they kicked straight that day, they would have went straight into the grand final and made Barmera play Waker in the prelim. But, they turned up on the weekend and were certainly the better side. And, Barmera didn't kick very straight either. 7-10, obviously not great kicking, and Barmera Monash 4-11. So they kick a few more straight ones and it's a lot closer, isn't it? But, you got to kick straight to win games of footy, and that's what Renmark did on the weekend and had a good win in the end. And, a little bit of controversy. The Barmera came back right in that last quarter. It was pretty even at quarter time, 1-2 to 1-3. Renmark skipped away in that second quarter, and that's when they really won it. The use of the ball in that quarter was sensational, led by Timmy Walford. It was fantastic all day, and they got away to a good lead in that half time. Pretty comfortable lead, 4-5 to 1-3. Then in that third quarter, Barmera didn't kick very straight, and they kicked 1-5. To Renmark's 1-1, and still a 16-point lead at three-quarter time. So as Renmark going into that last quarter, they'd be feeling pretty comfortable. And then all of a sudden, Barmera, came at them in that last quarter and piled a couple of goals on, and it got within 5 points. And everyone was sort of like, "Gee, can Barmera pull it off?" And then a little bit of controversy of obviously the sling tackle came into play. Obviously in the RFL these days they're very hot on it, and the RFL, the Riverland Footy League, have also been hot on it this year. And I guess if you're a Renmark supporter, you definitely thought it was a sling tackle. If you're a Barmera supporter, you didn't. And the umpire called it a sling, and so there was a free kick plays, about 70 out from goal. Unfortunately, one of the Barmera boys didn't agree with it and did a bit of chat back to the umpire. So the umpire didn't appreciate that, so he gave the penalty. And so now league, it's only 25 metres, so no big deal, but brought him within range of goal. And then must have been another Barmera player somewhere else said something to the umpire. And so there was another 25 metres awarded, which brought Tim Walford, who was the one who got tackled right in front of goal, 15 metres out. And, Tim, being a very smart player, he took all the time in the world to kick that goal and run the clock down a bit. And then Renmark went on and kicked another goal after that, and it was all done. So Barmera had that momentum, but that one decision by the umpire where they didn't agree with, obviously gave away a couple of penalties, and Timmy Walford finishes it off. So got close in the end, but Renmark too good. So like I said, Tim Walford was fantastic. They had 4 people give votes out during the game, or the best on ground, and Tim got 3 from all 4, so he was a clear standout. Ricky Garrett was fantastic as well in the midfield for Renmark. Dan Walford also, Nick Gillard up forward, Joey Rowe as well, 5th best, and Timmy Blight snuck in there for him as well. The goal kickers for Renmark, we looked through their side, Josh Vader, Nick Gillard and Tim Walford, probably their 3 best players, all stand up and kick 2 on the day, and that's the difference at the end of the day. That's what they win by. Six of their goals come from their 3 best players, and Zach Gartrey popped in with 1 as well. And for Barmera, John O'Beach did his best. He kicked 3 out of their 4 goals, so good game by Jono. Hodgson was good for them as well. He did his best, but obviously Renmark just too much, and ran it out in the end and had an easy win in the end. Really, got close, but no, they were too good all year, and they deserved to be the premiers. And that's probably four premierships in 5 years now. So definitely the club that's leading the way in the A grade, and well done to them. They were too good and deserved to be the premiers.
Well done to Renmark and well done to Tim Wolford, best on ground and kicking a couple of goals. And sounds like it was a fascinating game, really interesting bit of controversy outlined for us there, and especially interesting to see a couple of the newer rules to footy that a lot of players and a lot of fans really aren't necessarily used to yet in the sling tackles and also umpire dissent, or maybe in this case it was just straight out abuse, which has not really been tolerated for quite some time. But yeah, interesting to see them playing a part. Do you think it was a case of some of the older heads potentially just not being adjusted to those rules as of yet and having grown up playing the game with essentially a different set of rules?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and even the umpires themselves. I mean, you've got some umpires that certainly are paying that free kick all year, whereas others are a bit more lenient on it. So it just depends on the umpire you get too as to whether it's paid. I mean, look, Barmera obviously is a very silly time to be mouthing off to the umpire, and it's cost them dearly in the end. So I know Fraser Sampson, their coach, he would have been out there and probably telling the boys to be quiet. But, unfortunately, in the heat of the moment, and when it's a grand final on the line, I guess sometimes you lip when you shouldn't. So it's cost them dearly in this case, and obviously changed the momentum of the game back to Renmark, and that's why they went on and won it.
And just one last note on the A-grade grand final before we go through the other grades and age groups. 11 goals, 21 kicked on the day between the two teams. The wind's always playing a factor in the Riverland. Do you think the local players are a bit more adjusted to it than players that are playing in the Riverland Footy League that have come from elsewhere?
Yeah, possibly. Look, I mean, these days they play a zone footy, and at Wakery we never really have done that. Like, yes, we play a zone sometimes for a kick in, but they're doing full presses all over the ground, and Renmark and Barmera have led the way in that regard, and it's probably made the contest a lot more ball ups and a lot more boundary throw-ins, and not a free flowing game like last year. I think there was only 8 goals scored in the grand final, 5 for Barmera and 3 for Renmark. So to be honest, there's a few people that don't like it, and it's putting them off coming to the footy. Personally, I would rather see more goals kicked too, but that's just the way footy's gone at the moment, and it seems like it is all over in the country leagues where there's a lot more zoning, and it obviously tramps the game up a bit. So, hopefully we can get back to a bit more free-flowing footy and less defence play and more attacking play.
That's it. It's certainly better to watch when it's a bit more free-flowing, but you ask any coach of any team in any sport, you'd rather win than entertain, I reckon. So that's just the way things go. But let's have a look through the other grades. In the Rezzies, it was Loxton 5-3-33 beating Barmera Monash 4-7-31. An absolute thriller here in the Rezzies. Yeah,
no, it was. And look, Barmera were undefeated all year to round 16, so they won all 16 games. Probably went into the finals thinking this is going to be pretty easy. Loxton, like they normally do, always get a good side together and just put it together at the right time. Probably the main difference being Loxton older, a lot of ex-A-grade blokes, and maybe better head on their shoulders and knew when to hold the game up and when to go. And whereas Barmera a lot younger and fitter and quicker, but yeah, the old wise heads in the end did it over the younger, quicker boys. So, good win by them. Obviously, Barmera had a few more scoring shots and didn't kick straight. That didn't help. But, Loxton made the most of their opportunities, and that's what you got to do on grand final day. And, they have a good win in the end. And obviously, they came runner-up last year to us. Wakery won the B grade last year, so they went one better this year. So, they're a good side and had some good players out there, and probably a couple of players that could have been playing A grade really. But, we're done to Loxton. They certainly deserved it, and I think Barmera will learn their lesson from that one. No luck for Barmera Monash in the seniors, but they were well represented on the day. Such is the strength of the club, and they did get wins in the 18s and the 15s. 5-9-39 over Berry, 3-8-26 in the under 18s, and in the 15s a thriller, 6-10-46 over Renmark, 6-9-45. Yeah, no, that was actually overtime. So it was a draw when the final siren went, so they had to play overtime, and the Barmera boys got up in overtime. So, a bit of excitement there at the beginning of the day. Always exciting when it goes into overtime, and it was a nice, close, low-scoring one in the under-13s as well. Loxton over Barmera Monash, 3-3-21 to 3-1-19. So Barmera in all 5 grand finals on the day, got 2 premierships, and I reckon most clubs, despite losing 3, they'd be pretty happy to win 2. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, look, it's you get all five in and you hope to win all five, but it's very hard to do that, in any competition, and they can still be pretty proud of their efforts. Barmera, obviously, they would have loved to have won the A grade, and that's what we all play for, really, at the end of the day, is to win A grade premierships. But look, they've obviously got some good young ones coming through, which means it's good for their future. So look out for Barmera in the future, I think.
All right, Beaver, that is a wrap on the Riverland Footy League for 2024. Thank you for being our correspondent once again for this league. It's been a pleasure talking to you each week and getting your very detailed recaps. And, all the best for the off-season. And, we'll see if your retirement plans stick or if you're ramping up for pre-season for 2025.
Oh, maybe a pre-season, become a runner or something, mate. But definitely not playing footy. So, thanks to Flo, everything you do, all over the country. It's, great for country folk to be able to tune in and listen to you guys, talk about their local sports. So appreciate everything that you and Wayne do.
Good on you, Beaver. Thanks, mate.
Good on you, mate. See ya.